We're all taught to think of banks as these super safe places, right? Like a fortress for our hard-earned money. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the system isn't really built to help you get ahead? The truth is, it's a machine, and it's designed to make a profit from your money and maybe even keep you stuck.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. That cash you work so hard for, is it really, truly safe when you hand it over to the bank? Well, the answer might actually floor you.
Because here's the cold, hard truth of it. The second your money hits a standard bank account, it starts to bleed value. Every single day. It's worth a little bit less than the day before.
We are about to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how this game is played. And trust me, the secrets we're going to share will completely change the way you look at your bank. So, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe right now so you don't miss what's coming next. Okay, you ready? Let's dive in.
All right, first things first. We have to tear down the biggest myth of all, this whole illusion of safety. And that brings us to secret number 1. This one's a doozy.
So check out this brutal math. Let's say you put $1,000 into a savings account. The bank gets all excited and gives you, maybe 0.5% interest? So you earn a whopping $5 for the year. But if inflation is humming along at 3%, that means your $1,000 now buys $30 less stuff than it did last year. You think you gained $5, but you actually lost $30 in purchasing power. You're in the hole $25 just for trying to be safe. It's crazy.
Secret number 2 is somehow even wilder. Banks can literally just create money from nothing. Look at how this works. You deposit your $1,000. The bank is required to keep a tiny piece of it, let's say $100. But the other $900, they immediately lend it out to someone else. Now get this. Your account still says you have $1,000, and the borrower has $900 in their account. Just like that. Poof! The bank literally created $900 out of thin air, and now they get to charge interest on it.
And that leads us to secret number 14. The entire banking system, the whole shebang, doesn't actually run on giant vaults filled with cash. Nope. It runs on something much more fragile, your trust. It's built on the belief that the money is there if you want it. But if that trust ever disappeared, if everyone panicked and tried to pull their money out at the same time, what they call a bank run, the whole system would literally collapse. Overnight. That's how close to the edge it operates.
Okay, let's move on to our next section because this is where we see how this all gets built into what you could call an architecture of debt. See, the system isn't really about holding your money. It's about getting you to borrow theirs. Which brings us to secret number 3, their favorite weapon, the credit card. With average interest rates hitting 20%, these things are basically designed to be a trap. Let me be clear. Banks do not make money when you responsibly pay off your balance every month. They hit the jackpot when you get stuck, making those tiny minimum payments month after month, year after year.
Now for secret number 8. Think about that big American dream, right? Buying a home. Well, on a typical 30-year mortgage for a $300,000 house, by the time you're done, you could easily have paid almost $600,000 total. That's right, half of what you paid, a full $300,000, went straight into the bank's pocket as pure profit. You basically paid for 2 houses, but you only got to keep one of them.
And here's secret number 10. And this is the key. This is all completely by design. The entire system is tilted. They give you practically nothing for your savings, so you're not motivated to build wealth. But on the other hand, they make it super easy to get high-interest loans for everything. Cars, college, you name it, locking you into decades of payments. You have to understand, debt is their number 1 product.
This brings us to a really harsh reality. There's one set of rules for most of us, and a completely different playbook for the ultra-wealthy.
Secret number 4 is simple. The rich pay less to borrow money. An average person trying to get a mortgage might pay 4% interest, maybe more. But a billionaire? They can stroll in and get a loan for around 1%. The banks will tell you it's about risk management, but what it really means is the people who need a break the most pay the highest price, while the rich get to borrow money for next to nothing.
And secrets 5 and 6 show you exactly how the wealthy use this cheap debt as a weapon. They'll borrow a ton of money at, say, 2%, and then turn around and invest it in assets that are growing at 20%. They're literally getting rich using the bank's money. Oh, and get this. They also borrow against their massive stock portfolios to pay for their lifestyle. That means they never have to actually sell their stocks, so they never trigger a capital gains tax. It's a completely legal and brilliant tax dodge.
And for secret number 7, let's zoom out to the global scale.
With the help of private banks and armies of lawyers, the world's richest people and corporations have managed to squirrel away an estimated $8 trillion in offshore tax havens. That's money they're not paying taxes on, while everyone else has to foot the bill.
So, if they're not really making money from your savings account, how else are they profiting from the average person? Well, welcome to the world of profits by deception.
Secret number 9 is what I call death by 1,000 fees. Oh man, banks are masters at the art of nickel and diming you. The most insane one has to be the overdraft fee. You could accidentally overspend by just $10, right? A simple mistake. And the bank will punish you with a $35 fee. That is a 350% interest rate on a $10 mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar business for them, all built on tiny little charges. Secret number 12 is just heartbreaking. The system basically acts as a tax on being poor. If you don't have enough money to meet the minimum balance for a normal bank account, you get forced into using services that charge outrageous fees for things like cashing a paycheck or getting a small loan. The people with the least amount of money end up paying the most for the most basic financial services. It's totally backwards.
And now for secret number 13. Have you ever stopped and wondered why we're not taught any of this stuff in school? I mean, you learn about geometry and historical dates, but almost nothing about compound interest, debt, or investing. You think that's just an accident? Banks thrive when people are confused. Your financial ignorance isn't just a gap in the education system, it's a central pillar of their business model.
Okay, this all brings us to our final section, taking back control. Because now it's time to talk about what's really happening with your money behind the scenes and what on earth you can do about it.
First, you have to get this, secret number 11. When you deposit your money, it does not just sit there in a nice, safe vault with your name on it. No way. The bank immediately takes that money and starts gambling with it in the markets. Stocks, bonds, all kinds of complex stuff, all to chase a higher profit for themselves. Your life savings are being used as their poker chips in a high-stakes casino.
And this is the final, most twisted secret of all. Number 15. They actually profit from the crises they cause. Think back to 2008. The banks made massive, reckless bets that blew up, crashing the entire global economy. Millions of ordinary people lost their homes, their jobs, their savings, but the banks, they got bailed out with our taxpayer money. And then their executives turned around and collected huge bonuses. They get to keep all the profits when things go well, and we, the public, have to cover their losses when they fail.
So now that the curtain's been pulled back, now that you understand the rules of the game they're playing, the big question is, what can you actually do about any of this?
Look, the single most powerful thing you can do is to change your mindset. This entire system is set up for savers to lose and for investors to win. So you have to stop thinking like a saver, just letting your money sit there and get eaten alive by inflation. You have to start becoming an investor. It's all about making your money work for you for a change instead of for the bank. Now, if you're ready to take the first step and learn how to do that, we've put a link in the description to help you get started. Finally, make sure you subscribe for more explainers like this that reveal what's really going on, and drop a comment below. I really want to know which one of these secrets shocked you the most.